Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to a love tarot card reading that I'm going to be doing for you. And this is a love tarot card reading about your month of May, looking at every single week in the month. As an example, this card here is going to be from the 1st of the month onwards to the 7th of the month. Then we have a card for the 7th of the month onwards to the 15th of the month, the 15th of the month onwards to the 21st of the month, and the 21st of the month to the end of the month of May. This is going to be a reading that is for those of you who are in relationships, but I'm also going to divide this up into those and speak to those of you who are out of a relationship or broken up. Also, those of you in the friend zone or a situationship dynamic. And for those of you who don't have your eye on anyone in particular, I'm going to talk about your month as well. And might I say, your month is phenomenal, guys. There is only one card here that has a little bit of tension involved. The rest of them are so good. It blew my mind when I pulled these. The Eight of Cups. Let's start off with the first card here. You guys know that I like to read from a historical perspective. Now, over 100 years ago, when Arthur Edward Waite created the pictorial key to the tarot, which this deck is based off of, by the way, this is a deck called the Dark Fantasy Tarot deck if you're interested. When he described the Eight of Cups in the reversal position, which is how you got it, he spoke about this as being a card of great joy. It is the card of a return to celebration and where people return to you. Now, the reason that it's called the card of great joy and great celebration is because these 8 cups, they're not just set up for anything. Where in history, I ask you, where in the Middle Ages or medieval history would you have found a bunch of cups set up? At a feast of a great king, right? Joining together to do what? To celebrate some kind of victory. So this is why this card was referred to as a card of great joy, but only when it's in the reversal position, which you got it in, thankfully. It's amazing. So for those of you who are in a relationship, it's that first week of the month of May where you might find you and your partner returning to some circumstance, and the return to that circumstance brings you great joy. For some of you, you're redoing a project together. For some of you, you're redoing vacation together, changing locations. Again, think of things that you have already done before, but you're getting to return to do them, and it makes you feel supremely joyous. For those of you who are already broken up, that's the week where you see returns happening. I'll be quite frank. And especially because the next week is a card of celebration also. You got 2 straight weeks of celebration. And as I'm reading this, after having saw what happened with the Sagittarius energy and the Capricorn energy, Aquarius, I'm glad to see a tarot reading get such a lovely blessing, like 2 weeks worth of celebration. So for those of you who are broken up, you may very well find that that is the time frame when you get back together with someone. For those of you who are in a friend zone situation, if you have already had some kind of an experience with this person that hits a more intimate concept, then you may see yourself returning to that. If you have not had any kind of an intimate experience with that person, some friend zones do, some friend zones don't. But because this is a card of great feast, it can talk about a time where you actively come together to meet up with that person. For those of you in a situationship, if you have, again, gone that route of being intimate, you might have another go around in that first week because it's about people coming together. That is definitely a Netflix and chill kind of vibe, but with an increasing of like ravenishness, not just like basic laying around in bed. You might actually find yourselves going out somewhere with someone to feast, to eat, to celebrate. A little bit of partying energy can come out of that one. Overall, very good energy. And for those of you who are not in a relationship right now and you don't intend on getting back with an ex, or you don't have somebody in particular in mind, then whatever you're doing puts you in a state of great joy anyways. You could find yourself going out to hang out with people and ultimately meeting up with somebody that you really hit it off with in that particular week. Or maybe people are coming to celebrate with you just because you're an awesome individual and celebrating is always a grand thing to do. Whatever you're doing, it's going to bring you great joy. So if you're not thinking about an ex and you're leaving them to the past, then cheers on you for having a really wonderful first week of the month of May. Now your second week is just as beautiful. This is one of my favorite cards in all of tarot. So when I saw this come up, I was just like, wicked. Okay. The Four of Wands, the reason I love this card so much because it is a clear depiction of celebration. Two people joining themselves together with their bouquets in the air, surrounded by home and celebratory energy and abundance and flowers. A lot of people call the Four of Wands the 1111 card, wish fulfillment. Other people call it the marriage card because it depicts almost an archway of a celebration of marriage. But I will say that again, over 100 years ago in history, the Four of Wands was, yes, a card of celebration, yes, a card of unity, yes, a card of abundance, but you got it in the reversal. And this is one of those rare cards that, according to Arthur Edward Waite, doesn't change its meaning at all when it's in the reversal. It is absolutely beautiful celebration for you. There is no change to that. He actually uses one word to describe that card when it's in the reversal. He says, same. It's the same meaning. It's a great card. And your wonderful energy that I'm super jealous of because I have almost no Aquarius in my chart. Cheers to my mom and my cousin, by the way, who are Aquarians. I hope whatever celebratory energy you have between yourself, your partners, your friends is just beaming for you. And for all of you Aquariuses out there, I'm shouting out all of you in this because that third quarter of the month is just as good. The Two of Cups is here. This is after the 15th of the month. And the Two of Cups is compassion. It's sharing. It's coming together. It's on a very platonic energy. So like it's kindness between friends, but also in relationships. It's kindness between lovers that turns into a friendship dynamic. So there's no tension here. This is meeting the right people, being with the right friends, being with the right people in terms of relationships and love. More unity for you guys. You get unity here, you continue the unity over here, and another week you continue that unity. Again, I'm super jealous, guys. Now, I'm going to take a moment to remind you, if you did not know, that I'm going to do another reading for you. Before we get into this final card here, if you are interested in another reading, I do have life readings about your month of May every single week that I'm going to be posting, and I post it for all the horoscope signs every single month. But those are for my subscribers. If you are interested, you can go to the top of my TikTok, click the subscriber button, and that subscriber button, if you want to subscribe, it will unlock all the extra videos just like this. Or if you don't like TikTok, if TikTok's not your thing, I have the same unlockable videos over on my Patreon, but my Patreon does have extra added bonuses of things like live stream replays and extra videos on research that I make as well. It's a brand new Patreon, so I thought I would start to put the word out on it. With that being said, let's get back into it here. Your final card, this is the 21st of the month onwards to the end of the month. It is the Two of Swords. And yes, this is a card that looks a little difficult because it is in the suit of the swords. It has somebody who's protecting their heart, so you could find yourself feeling a little anxious or protective at that time, or a person you're dealing with is feeling a little bit anxious or protective. But this is likely because of past circumstances that you or they have dealt with. Because if you look closely, much like the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there is a blindfold on this image here, this person. So there's nothing inherently there to threaten you, but for some reason in your mind, old fears might be creeping back up. Or on your other person, they may have ghosts of the past that they're dealing with ultimately. Things that aren't really there, but they're kind of got stuck in their imagination. Just very human. We all have circumstances like that where we become afraid of things that don't even exist, right? Now, I do want to say that with the Two of Swords, an interesting concept that Arthur Edward Waite brought up about this card when he wrote the Pictorial Key to the Tarot in 1910 is that he viewed that this person was afraid because they cared. So if you do have situations of tension in the last week of the month there, just remember, a lot of the times it is because the other person cares. If you had two swords across your heart and you were protecting yourself, wouldn't you be doing it because you cared enough to protect yourself? See what I mean? So it's not ultimately a bad energy. It's just one that you kind of have to pass through. until the next month, which I will get into later on in the coming weeks when we do the June reading. I'm going to leave you guys off with that here. If you're interested, you can also get a private reading. If you like my style of historical tarot, feel free to click the link at the top of my bio. It has all my readings in it. Starting off, prices are $20 for any 2 questions that you have. And those are same day readings. So the same day that you put a reading order in is the same day that you also get it back. I can do them really quick, nice video layouts and everything. And I'm glad to get to do that with you guys. All right, I'll talk to you later. Ciao for now.